Hi traders, hopefully you're having a great day today. In my past videos I've talked a lot about trade plans. Matter of fact, and every day I almost talk about follow your trade plan. But what I'm going to do over the next couple weeks is roll out a few videos that walks you through developing a trade plan. If you don't have one, this is a great time to sit down and start mapping one out. If you do have one, this is a good time to pull that trade plan out, make sure it's up to date, and if you're not reading it every day, you need to read it every day. Okay, one of the reasons I see people fail in this industry is because they just do not plan for success. In other words, they do not have a trade plan. Okay, most people in the world need to be led, and most people need to be told what to do. And that's just the nature and psychology of human beings. Now, what a trade plan can do is provide that structure for you and also act as your boss or your educator or your mentor, if you will. All right, now think about it this way. We are in an environment where it's like the Wild West. Okay, we can take a trade anytime we want. We can pull the trigger long or short. We can put as many contracts or shares on as we want, etc., etc. And if we don't have a structure that helps us guide us through that so we can stay out of the bad times, then we're almost guaranteed failure in this industry, and the last thing you want to do is give your hard-earned money away. Well, let's look at it in the form of an engineer. If I'm going to go build a skyscraper, I'm going to need an elaborate plan. I'm going to need to know how to build it, when to build it, how, you know, all the details inside that plan. If I don't, I just slap concrete up and some metal, and I hope that it doesn't fall down. Well, hoping is not a plan, and just like in trading, it guarantees failure if you don't have one. Now, also, a plan can reduce your stress and allow you to focus on what's important, which is your trade setup and finding good quality trades. And then also it allows you to determine if your setups have an edge. In other words, you're going to track your setups and make sure that they're working correctly. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this, and then we'll start with section 1, which is what I trade. I like to trade the E-mini S&P and the crude oil contracts in the futures markets. If you're a brand new trader, I'm gonna tell you right now, start with one product. Okay, the E-mini S&P is a great product to trade. That's where I cut my teeth at, and a lot of people have as well. Do this and own this market. Now, also, you'll need to identify your hours. I like to trade 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I like to be done by 11 a.m., but if the market's moving and the rhythm's good, I'll probably come back at 1:30 p.m. and see how the market closes that day. Now, understand something. Different times of days have different rhythms, and you need to find that rhythm and make sure it works with your comfort level. Okay, and I'm just going to say one thing: stay out of the market during the lunchtime. It doesn't work. It's very unpredictable. Also, identify your setups. Again, if you're a new trader, identify one setup. Okay, you can make a living off one setup and live very, very well. Okay, you don't need multiple setups. That's a trap that a lot of traders get into. You will develop other setups as you go, and you will find out about other setups. But for the time being, find one setup, identify the time frame that you'll trade that setup on, how you trade it inside and out. Okay, and I'm going to also make a hint here. Include a picture of what this looks like. Okay, we're visual people by nature, and the market is very visual. Print a couple charts that you've seen this setup on and identify it and keep it in this trade plan. And then lastly is simulation. You need to simulate everything before you go live. This is where you're going to hone your skills. You got to follow your plan to the law for this to work. Don't be going willy-nilly and say, well, I'm going to try this and I'm going to try that because it doesn't work. You need to track all your trades, and you need to take notes on these trades. Now think about this. Pilots who fly our planes, they simulate flying for hours on end, and they continue to do it after they actually are pilots. The military, they train, which is a form of simulation before they go out into the field. It works, and until you are profitable on a simulator, you should never attempt to trade live. So let's quickly recap here on the first section. What I trade. You need to identify your contracts. You need to identify your hours. Be specific on them, please. And on your contracts, only one to start with. Your setups, again, only one to start with. Identify your setup, what it is, your time frame, and how you trade that setup, and also include pictures. And then lastly, you need to set up your simulator. Contact a broker if you don't have one, and get a simulator set up so you can start working on this trade plan. So next time, guys, look for the video. We're going to go to the next section, which is risk reward. Hope this helps. Give us some feedback if you have questions. We'll talk to you